Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Custom Carving and Epoxy UK. Hope you're all doing well, especially if you're in the UK at the minute, because snow is finally here. Look at that picture. But I wanted to do a project that's going to warm me up a little bit and remind me of summer holidays, summertime. And it took me back to one of the first resin videos I saw, probably about 2 or 3 years ago now, which was, I think, a lady called Sherry Vegas. So shout out to you, Sherry, where she did ocean waves in resin. And I know that Julie from Pouring Your Heart Out's recently been trying it as well. So it got me inspired. And I thought, you know what? I'm finally, after about 3 years of watching that first video, gonna give it a go and see if we can get some summer vibes, even though it's freezing in winter. So let's get straight to it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Custom Carving and Epoxy UK. I hope you're all doing well. So first of all, this is going to be a project which is going to be a little bit different, and I'm just hoping I've got enough space not to make a huge mess here. So I've seen Judy from Pouring Your Heart Out trying the waves technique, and if I'm being honest, it's been in my head for a few weeks to try it out, and that's why I ordered these little wooden trinket trays, I suppose you call them, from Temu. And I just thought I would give it a go. Again, I don't have any tabletop epoxy at the minute either. And I always say use the right resin for the project, which I think a tabletop epoxy would probably be better for something like this. But I haven't got any, so I'm going to try with what I've got. So this is the T-Expert standard 1-to-1 resin that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be trying 3 different shades of blues. And then I ordered this from Temu as well, so I'm hoping it's going to be good. I don't know. Sea Wave Resin Pigment Paste, which is essentially what I'm trying to do. So I don't think I'm going to need as much white as the other colours. In fact, I've mixed up far too much resin here. I've got 6 ounces. I could probably get away with half of that for a project of this size, I think. But whatever's spare will go into my dragon drip mould and create another dragon. But I'm going to try and do these two because it's something that's been on my mind for a while, ever since I got into resin. And to be fair, it's one of the things that got me into resin was actually watching a video on making waves and those cells that you get in the waves. I just thought it was absolutely stunning. And that was probably, it must be a couple of years ago now, and I've still not got round to trying it. But I've seen this emerging again from Julie at Pouring Your Heart Out, so shout out to you. And I just thought, do you know what? Now is the time to just give it a go. It's nearly midnight here in the UK. We have had snow as well, which is kind of exciting, but I'm one of those people that doesn't really like the snow. So there we go, but it is winter. So these are my 4 colours. And I'm obviously going to keep some clear in here as well. And as I say, I don't think I'm going to need half as much as that. So I picked out some different colours, which I may mix up. So the dark, I think, is going to be this metallic one I've got. And again, a metallic sea would look pretty cool, I think. So it's a dark metallic pigment paste. And all I'm going to do is literally get a clean stick. And I've actually put greaseproof paper down underneath because I've got a feeling this is going to get messy. And I don't want it to just all pour onto my silicone mats underneath because I think that'll be a pain to tidy up. So that's why you've got greaseproof paper under there as well. And obviously I do this on a tiny, tiny workstation. So just bear that in mind when you watch my videos. So literally whatever's left on the stick is what I'm going to use for the dark. That's going to be my dark bluey colour, I think. So again, this is going to be my sort of medium blue, because I think it would be good to have like 3 different shades. And again, just going to put a tiny bit in here. I don't think I'm going to need too much, because I don't actually want it to be too heavy anyway. I just want it to be a nice colour, basically. So that's that one. And then I'm going to put a tiny bit of this in the next one as well, because the turquoise I've got isn't blue enough for my liking. So I'm just going to mix, let's say, a tiny bit of this blue in with it, and then hopefully it'll blend better. But I'm really excited for this video because it's something, as I say, it's been months I've been thinking about trying this and I haven't yet. So this is almost turquoise. And I'm hoping that this will give me just the different shades like you would naturally get in the ocean. And there you go. Haven't even opened this one yet. So just opening it up now. And literally, I just want to a sprinkle of this. I don't want any of these colours to be too heavy, because I actually think it'd be nice if you could still just about see the wood grain underneath. So that is that. And then my white, again, I've not waited any length of time for this either. I'm just going to go pretty much straight away. So it's currently around about 21 degrees centigrade in my living room. So the resin, it's gone through the bubble removal machine, so it's probably at around, in fact, I'll tell you, rather than guessing, 22.7 degrees is what temperature we're at. Now, again, I haven't used this one yet, so just going to open it up, and I hate opening up new pigments. I don't mind trying them, and I love trying them, but it's just getting the foils off. It's an absolute pain without getting it everywhere. Look at that, it's almost dried up on the top. This one from Temu, so I'm just wondering if I'm better off using my Ocean White from Let's Resin that I've already got, but we'll see. So just going to get one of my stirring sticks, and I'm going to mix that around. But again, it looks quite firm, that, so I don't know whether to risk it. But again, it's my first attempt, so if it all does go horribly wrong, that's my excuse, and that is what I'm going to stick to. And I've actually run out of my small sticks. My children obviously haven't been eating enough ice cream, so again, I'm just going to give this a stir around because it's a really weird consistency. And I think it's probably... Look at that. Just giving it a stir around though. I think it'll be fine once it's had a stir around. I often find that with these pigment pastes, when you first open them, they're almost solid. You've almost got to mix them back round together. And I'm just hoping that this is going to give me some nice cells, but looking at it, I'm not convinced yet. I'm just scraping off whatever I can off the stick, and then whatever's left on that stick is what I'm going to use. So no precise measurements here, it's what is on the stick. So I'm just going to mix these up so that I'm ready to go. The first one's the blue, and this is a really rich, deep, dark metallic blue, which I absolutely love. And as I say, I've mixed up far too much for these two little boards, but anything spare can go in my dragon mould and see what effects that makes. So again, this is my deep, dark, metallic blue on that one. I'm going to wipe my sticks in between so I can reuse them again tomorrow in a different project, I'm sure. And do me a favour, guys, if you're liking the content, just do me a favour, like and subscribe to the channel. It does make a massive difference to people like me as creators. It tells me that you're liking what you're seeing, it tells me that you're liking the experiments, and to keep doing what I'm doing, you know. It's as simple as that. So again, if you can, if you're feeling brave, put me something in comments as well, and I'm really excited. I'll show you something in a minute which I am so excited for. It's something I never thought I would ever use, and it made me laugh when I first received them, but I am going to use it finally in this project, and you'll see what it is in a second. So that is my second blue, and again, that's a lovely colour. And then this third one is going to be this turquoise and blue shade that I've put two different micas in. Don't be afraid to mix up your colours, guys. If you're not happy with a colour, change it. Add some other mica, keep mixing it until you're happy with it. So that is like turquoise, but I can still see that blue tinge coming through now. So it's almost gone aquamarine. So I'm happy with that as a colour. So that is those. I could probably do 20 chopping boards with the amount I've mixed though. Absolutely crazy mixing that much resin. But there we go, we learn from our mistakes. That's one thing we've certainly been doing on this channel over the past few months. So this is that Ocean White pigment paste, and it is very, very white actually. It's whiter than my usual ocean white from Let's Resin. I don't know if that'll make a difference with forming cells or anything like that. As I say, it's my first time doing this, but that is my white. Let me know what you think's going to happen. Just wiping my gloves in between, because there's nothing worse than sticky gloves and getting everything sticky. But again, just to show you which white I'm using again, it's that Seawave Resin Pigment Paste. I don't know the manufacturer, as I say, it is off Temu. So, and now to show you what I'm excited about using for the first time. And it made me laugh so much when this arrived in a resin kit. It is a Fingerdom, and I'm gonna get to use it in this experiment for the first time. So finally gonna be popping that Fingerdom cherry. So it's gonna be exciting for that reason, if nothing else. So I think the best way to do this is just to crack on. I've got a heat gun at the side of me as well. So I'm going to go in with my darker colour first, and I actually want this to cover probably about 50% of that wood. And I don't know how to do this, but I'm just going to go for it, you know, and bring it down like this. So this is my darkest colour. I do want it to go over the edge. And so this is stage 1. Quite a bit of resin I'm using on this, and again it's 1-to-1 resin rather than that tabletop. So there we go. And these wooden tray things as well, they were also off of Temu. They had a special deal on, it was like £3 each, and it's a nice wood. And I love doing woodwork anyway, but I just didn't have anything in stock that I thought I could turn into these trays. And to be honest with you, the way that these have been done, they've actually been done quite well for Temu products. So that is colour number 1 in both of those. And it's slightly uneven at this point. That's fine. It does not bother me in the slightest, and you'll see why in a minute. This is colour number 2. So again, just going to try and go sort of in front of that. And if I'm pushing it, I want to push it backwards rather than forwards, because I don't want it to take up too much now. So that is that one. And I'm hoping I remember what colours I used if this works out. But that's another good thing about recording videos for YouTube. If something works, you've got a permanent reminder of what you did. So you just need to go back and watch the video again. The same as you guys do, hopefully. So that is that. And then my lightest colour, as I say, is this turquoise. And hopefully this will just give me those different shades of the sea once I've mixed them, which you'll see in a second. And again, I want it to go over the edge. And I just want it to be in front of that resin. And if it needs to, just push it back a little bit. There we go. And I'm happy with that. Now for the exciting moment that I've been waiting for since these arrived, the Fingerdom. So, let's see if I know how to put one of these on. Well, there we go, look at that. The Fingerdom is ready. So all I'm going to do with this resin, sorry, I'm cracking myself up at the minute, is just use my finger, mix it around, making sure I've got some round the sides. I'm probably going to end up sanding the sides on this if it comes out nice. But again, we will see how it works out. And again with this one, I'm just going around the sides. I know this has been sealed, I believe, with just a plain varnish, is what it said on the advert. So I haven't resealed it. So I suppose that's a little bit trusting of me. Now you see those 3 different shades now. I'm going to literally just use my finger with the Fingerdom and move it round a little bit so that hopefully the colours blend a little. Nothing major, but again, I want some of those darks and some of those lights to sort of mix in together. Let's bring some of the dark down, and hopefully this will give us a natural sort of ocean-like effect. Still want most of the dark to be at the back, most of the light to be at the front. As you can see, I'm just mixing them around a little bit with my finger and seeing what it looks like when it settles. So that is that. And again, I just want to pull a bit more of this one through until I'm happy with it, really. And that's where there is a use for fingerdoms, everyone. I was wondering when they came, what the heck are these for? What is the use? And now I know, just for projects like this. I'm just being cautious because obviously these are just resting on 2 of these 4-ounce espresso cups. And I'm just going to go over this edge. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that edge, and then I'm pretty happy with that. We've got sort of almost all of those colours now blending pretty much into each other, but mainly the dark is staying at the back and the little bit of the lighter green is staying at the front. And again, just doing the same with this one. So this is actually really fun, this part. So I'm hoping the rest, as I say, works out. And I am using 1:1 standard resin here. The one I'm using is from T-Expert. It's kind of a medium viscosity, and I know that I probably should be using a tabletop epoxy resin here, but I don't have one, and I really wanted to give this a go, so I'm just going for it, guys. It's quite therapeutic, and that is just what I was watching for, which I didn't want to happen. Again, when you're confined and you don't have a lot of room, this is what you have to sort of resort to. So I am going to lift this up because I don't want resin where I don't want it, if that makes sense. And whilst I can, I'm just going to wipe that off with a wipe in those areas and then put it back on. So, and again, just making sure that they are level. And try and make sure your surface, what these are on, is as level as you can make it. Now, I did level out the table, but I don't know how level it is with these little cups underneath. I think it's actually coming slightly this way, and it could be because the wooden trays are actually slightly uneven, but there we go. We're going to persist. I'm reasonably happy with those. In fact, this one I'm just going to blend it a tiny little bit more, just to bring some of those darks through and some of those lights going through. But again, there's no particular order I'm doing it in. I'm just trying to make sure it's all covered in resin, or the bit I want. So there we go. And I've just got another trail of resin where I didn't want it, and I've realised why now. It's the Fingerdom. I haven't wiped the resin off. But yeah, I'm happy with that for a blend of colours. So I'm just going to wipe again off here the bit that has trailed. There we go. So that is that. Stage 1 complete. Exciting. And now I think you want a thin, clear layer of resin in front of your wave, from what I've seen. So I'm just going to put a thin layer of clear over there like that. And as you can see, it's pretty much covering half the board, which is what I wanted. Which is surprising, because I never normally get the resin exactly where I want it. So that is my thin layer of clear. And now I'm going to use my stick to put the white in. And I want sort of half of it on the wood, I believe, and half of it sort of on the resin. And this is where I don't want it to be too thick. So I'm just going to use my stick, get some on there, and let it drip off, you know, and hopefully judge it right. I am going to want enough so that it does spread though, so a bit more than that. And again, just being conscious that I don't want it to go absolutely everywhere in my work area either. But I think the different thicknesses actually will do me a favour when I go to push the waves out. So I'm just going to let this sit now once this is on for maybe 5 minutes, just to give the wave a chance to maybe thicken up a little. And I'm going to put another one, maybe a little bit thinner, just at the back here. And then doing the same on this one. And I've got a feeling I'm going to be doing some sanding tomorrow in the snow. Again, trying not to do it too thick though, because I don't want the waves to overtake the whole piece. I still want to be able to see some of that ocean. And again, this might not work. It is my first time of trying it. But I'm happy with that, you know. It looks a bit like the sea or the ocean. I've got the 3 different colours that I wanted in there. And I think that is enough white for me. I don't want to overdo it. And hopefully they'll be a little bit more faint, those ones on the back corners. So what I'm going to do, whilst I'm letting those sit, I think I've got a tiny bit too much in those areas, but hopefully they'll just look natural when I blow these waves out. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a spare dragon drip mould at the back. I don't think I'm going to need any more of these colours again. So I'm just going to pour my excess resin straight into that whilst I'm letting this sit. So sorry it's off camera guys, but I just want to get it done so I can actually get a bit more space. Because at the minute I have hardly any space on this work surface because these little tiny boards are taking it all up. But I always say, never ever waste your resin. Always have a little drip mould to the side so that if you do mix too much, which let's face it, most of us do because we don't want to undermix, you can just pour it into that mould and get some great results, hopefully. Especially if you're using different colours like this. So this is almost going to be an ocean dragon, I think, if it turns out. So that is that. And then I've got this green. And I'm deliberately putting my colours down first because I think the white will overtake everything. And again, sorry guys, this isn't on screen. But that white seems to be settling a little bit now. And what I am going to do, I've just spotted 2 dots that I'm not that keen on. So I'm going to quickly wipe it as well. I've still got the Fingerdom on my finger. Yeah, and there was an awful lot of that white. So again, I've just mixed up far too much resin for this project. Probably could have got away with 3 ounces. And I mixed up 6, so lesson learnt for next time. You don't need a lot for these. Literally a tiny bit for each. I'll probably not even use 3 ounces of resin, to be honest. Right, so there's those. And again, just before I get my heat gun out, I'm just wiping off that dot that I wasn't happy about there. And this one here. And this is going to be really interesting, hopefully, when I blow it out. And I've still got loads of clear left. So again, I'm just going to see if I might be able to fill this dragon almost. Very nearly full. but I don't want him to just remain clear, so I'm just pouring some chameleon alcohol inks on him as well. If you've not seen the video on that, make sure you go back, and again guys, sorry you're a bit out of shot for this, and normally I'm much better with my camera work, but as I say, these two pieces have literally taken over my whole workspace. But we're going to go back on with this project now. All I'm going to do is just give everything a bit of a stir around inside this dragon, so it mixes everything up and hopefully creates a cool effect. But you never know until you demold. One of the things that I absolutely love about working with resin. Everything's a surprise at demold. Right, fun part now. Fingerdom off and dispose of them safely, guys. Oh dear. Never thought I would ever use one of those Fingerdoms, but there we go. So, just going to get my heat gun now, and all it is, it's a standard heat gun, and I've got the smallest nozzle I could get on there. And what I'm going to try and do is literally just push these waves out and see what happens. And it's my first time again doing it, guys, so if it does all go horribly wrong, please don't shoot me. I've got it on a low speed, and I'm just setting it to a medium sort of temperature. I'm just trying to heat it up first, like so. No angle on it at this point, I'm just literally heating it up. And actually I could have actually used the heat gun to mix up the colours, but I didn't think of that at the time. So it's heating up nicely. Now I'm just going to go at a bit of an angle and try and see what happens. Just pushing them out a little. And I'm going to go back over these because it's not quite the effect I wanted. As you can see, just being gentle and pushing it out further in some places than others. Especially here where I've got predominantly white. I want it to get all the way along the piece like that. But I'm pretty happy with the way it looks for a first attempt. And now I'm just praying that I get some cells when I go back over it with my torch. I'm not happy with that bit there, but we can't have it all. So what I might actually do, I don't know if there's any way to recover that now, because I have literally moved that resin too far across, but I am still going to try and recover it. And anything else, as I say, I can try and fix with some sanding. So that is that. This bit here, I'm now going to keep without resin. That one I'm really happy with, at least the formations of the waves at this stage. And so these are going to take a bit of sanding tomorrow if they come out at all, which I am aware of. There we go, that's a bit more level now. So now all I'm going to do is get my torch, not the heat gun this time, and just go over the white and hope it starts to create some cells. It's quite a powerful lighter, this one. We had a mini fire, but it's starting to form some cells now. I'm just going to turn it down a touch because I had that pretty much on full blast and see what happens. So I seem to be getting some cells in certain areas like that, but not in all. And I don't want to burn it either, so I'm trying not to keep it in one place for too long. Because if I burn it, it's going to go yellow, which again I don't want, but like that. I've just singed it a little bit. I'm just going to go over the whole thing now and see what happens, you know, see if it forms any more cells by itself or if I need to use silicone oil on it next time. But for a first attempt, I'm reasonably happy with them. They kind of look like waves to me. So I'm just going to leave them now to cure and then decide tomorrow if I'm going to do a second layer. I don't think I am, because for me, these are just little tiny trinket tray sort of thing, and I don't think they need it. But I've got some cells, not as many as I'd like, but again, it's possibly down to the white I'm using as well. But for a first attempt, I'm reasonably happy with those. I'm just going to take you down to have a look. There's that one. And there's that one. So I've got some cells, not as many as I'd like, but I think it looks really natural actually, and I'll be intrigued as to what it cures like tomorrow. So we'll come back tomorrow, have a look at it, and then go from there. But my first attempt at ocean waves. Let me know what you think in comments. Let me know if I should do another layer. And I'll see you guys at demold.
So I just wanted to share a funny story with you at this point. I've been doing this video, editing this video for you guys, and I've been looking around and go, where's the demold video? Where's the demold video? I can't find it. Don't tell me it's deleted. And then I realised there is no demold video because you don't have to demold anything. So I just thought I'd let you guys in on that so that you see part of the life of a creator, I suppose. But absolutely love these pieces now that they're fully cured. And I'm going to get you some better shots as well just after this. But yeah, don't look for a demold video when you haven't had to demold anything. All I need to do on the back there is just sand those down and probably give it another coating. But that one I absolutely love. There is some nice cells in there if you can see, and I love the 3 different shades of blue. I think it's given it a really natural effect. And the same with this one. There's not as many cells in this one, but it's still a lovely piece. So I'm going to get you some better shots. But for a first attempt, I don't think it's bad. And do you know what? Finally found a use for those Fingerdoms. So if nothing else, it's made the whole video worthwhile. So I'm going to show you a few extra shots. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel as well. And there's plenty more videos as well. So if there's any techniques you're looking for, let me know in comments or look through the videos. They might already be there. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.